Oh, hi! Welcome back to Cobra Vids. This time we're going to be just farting around out in the garage, doing some things, causing some trouble, making some noise. Make some noise! Oh, I don't fucking know. Right now I'm backing my wife's jet out. Gotta make some room before we make some noise. Gotta have some room, you know? Got all my tools and equipment and crap, so it makes it kind of hard to do anything out here, you know? That's why I need to move out on a big piece of property. Whoa! Damn! That sun is bright. Oh, get out of this thing here. Oh. Okay. Now we gotta jump on my bike here and move it out of the way. Call this the vehicle shuffle. If this was a popular dance, man, I'd be a pro at it. We've got my son's Passat, we've got my wife's Jetta, my Mustang, my truck, my two bikes. Well, three if you consider the one that I'm getting out today. See that? I need to buy a new state flag. That flag is actually supposed to be the style that does not roll up on the pole like that. But you know that's bullshit. Look at that. Pay extra for that kind of flagpole. Does that make you dizzy, man? Because, man, it makes me dizzy. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to get into this beast here. Haha, yeah. We're going to move that forward. We're only going to drive it about 5 feet. Well, actually, probably 20. Some feet like that. Man. Whew, man. Oh. Mustang brand new car smells different than the Jetta. Isn't that weird how different car manufacturers have a different new car smell? Of course, I never noticed that until I started buying new cars. Oh, do you hear that? I absolutely love that sound. That's a cool sound, man. Here, let's switch modes. Let's make it, yes, I know my door's open. Well, you know, at least it tells me. Alright. That's a badass sound, man. Alrighty, so we're gonna move this baby forward. Gotta move it forward enough to get that Vulcan out. I'm going into Phoenix to do some training, so I figured it would be cool to take it to training with me, because I don't ride it much because it's stuck behind the Mustang. Doesn't that suck, man? Well, there she is. The Mustang sits right about here, and that's where my Vulcan sits. As you can see, it's very difficult to get it out, so that's why I'm not riding it much. But let's take a few seconds to admire the unwrapping. Alrighty guys, I know it's not a Harley. It's not as fancy as a Harley, but man, she is a beauty though. Let's get her out. I'm gonna share with you how I have to get my Vulcan out of the garage. Alright guys, so this is the first step. I gotta get my floor jack out. You gotta jack the rear end up off the ground. once it's off the ground, voila. Alright, so today what I'm doing is I'm just going to be checking the tire pressures and the oil levels and stuff and making sure that it's safe to go ride. It's been about 2 months since I've tried to ride this thing. It being back in that corner, it's just so much of a pain to get it out to ride. But today I'm going to go out for a little cruise on it. Might share some of that footage with you on this video. I do have bike cameras on this one, so it's really easy to take you with me. But I'm going to shine it up a little bit, make it look a little nicer, although it does look pretty freaking sweet to me right now. That's why I keep it covered, so it helps keep the dust off. But look at all that chrome, man. I wanted a bike with a lot of chrome, and holy crap, there is a lot of chrome on this bike. And chrome is so hard to take care of. If I knew how hard the chrome is to take care of, I might have went for the flat black. But anyway, that's not the one I got, so I got to take care of her. This bike has 6,000 miles on it, right around there. Yeah, almost 7,000. She's due for an oil change, I think. Maybe close to. And I have not done the 8-month brake fluid inspection. And change. I haven't even looked at it. This brake fluid is under this cover here, and from what I can see in here, it might need a change. I'll go ahead and pop this off, and I'll show you where this bike's brake fluid reservoir. This is the rear one, and of course the front one is up on the handlebar where most of them are. But we're going to concentrate on this one right now. And if this one looks dirty, then I might go ahead and just do the flush and get it taken care of so I don't have to worry about that. You're supposed to do it 8,000 miles or 8 months, and this bike's, what, a year and a half old? So. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. It's just starting to turn colors. That is still pretty clean fluid, so I'm not even going to worry about this right now. And I would imagine the top half is pretty close to that there. So we're going to go ahead and wait for the 8,000 miles and then do it. Of course, this stays in the garage a lot, so we don't have sun beating down on it, and we don't have all the elements. So that doesn't surprise me that it's still good after a year and a half. But I'm not going to change that because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Tire pressure is the most important thing on a motorcycle. Well, one of the most important. And right now, my tire pressure is sitting right about, there we go. Oh, it's even upside down. Even more confusing. It's about 25 pounds. It's a little bit low, so we're gonna go ahead and top it off. We keep them right about 30. Yeah. That's what I kind of thought. Front and rear tires about the same. They do go down here and there, so I'm not too surprised to find out that I've got to put some air in these tires. Okay, so we've topped off the tires. They're at 30 pounds. The book, I think, says 29 pounds, but 30 pounds is what the shop usually puts them at when I take it in to get tires. I no longer swap my own tires. I found that it gives me an opportunity to go for a ride to the shop, and it only takes about an hour. And when I swap tires myself, I can't really buy tires as cheap as I can get them installed in the same tire. So I'm not disappointed that I have to pay a little bit more to get the tire, because it's like $20 extra to get that tire put on there. And if they screw up the tubes, because this here has tubes, it's on them. They give me a brand new tube and finish the tire install. If they screw up the beads, it's on them. Like for my 400, it has no tubes. It's a tubeless tire. So if I screw up the beads when I'm installing them on my own, I've got to buy me a brand new tire. So it just makes sense to pay the extra 20 bucks and have the shop do it. And I go to Kelly's Kawasaki. It's just right down the road, so it's a short little ride, and that gives me the opportunity to go for a ride, because who doesn't want to ride something like this? I've had a couple bikes, and I've had chains, I've had axle driven. The 96 Vulcan I have, that there actually has a driveline, which I think the driveline, in my opinion, is my favorite, because there's nothing that can go wrong as long as you keep it greased up. It's great. But this one, this 2019, has a Kevlar belt, and I have been told that these belts can last upward into 100,000 miles. So as long as you don't ride in a lot of rocks, and you don't get a lot of rocks into the gears and stuff, it can last potentially 100,000 miles. I am anxious to see, but at my rate, 100,000 miles is going to be 20 years from now, because I've owned this almost 2 years now, and I've only got, what, 6,700 miles, somewhere around there. So it's going to take me a while to get up that high. One of the most worst things about this bike is keeping this rim clean. Holy crap, guys, this is a bitch to get to because of the belt gear, the chrome fitting, the saddlebags. It's just difficult to keep this rim clean, and it's chrome. So, but the fortunate thing is I don't have a whole lot of chain wax and grease and stuff flinging off onto the rim like I do my 400. So that really helps keep that clean. One more thing, I don't like where the key placement is. The key placement is over here. When I have my helmet on and my Kevlar vest on and my riding jacket, it's hard for me to look down. So when I have to pull the key out to feel it, I have to pretty much get down here like this off the bike and insert the key, or I'm stabbing at it. So key placement when I'm riding to and from work is kind of uncomfortable to get to, but with practice I guess I can accomplish anything. But other than that, everything about this bike I absolutely love. The look, the way it rides, everything. Alright guys, something I'm going to try on it, I've never tried on this one before, but is this stuff here. This is for the interior of my car, and I used it on my 400 because I didn't have any of my other stuff, and I thought, man, this stuff is going to attract all the dust in the world, but actually it didn't. My bike stayed looking beautiful for the longest time. And the only thing I really don't shine up is the pedals and the floorboards, because, obvious reasons. If it's a little slick, you might slip off these things in the time that you need them, and I don't put them on grips or anything else. But it doesn't take much to shine up a bike that stays under a cover all its life, so it shined up pretty damn good. Now I'm going to bring in the 400, and we're going to get to the actual reason for this video. Okay guys, now on to the real reason for this video. What I wanted to do is I wanted to get your opinion on how well my Kawasaki Z400 is holding up, okay? Now, this is my daily rider to work. All this year, from January till to date, I've only driven a car to work 5 times. 5 times, guys, okay? And currently, right now, and keep in mind, I bought this with 1 mile on it. It was the test ride after I paid for it. They went and took it for a test ride. I got about 3,200 on this oil. I'm about to change it after I hit 4,000. I'm going to change it because I change my oil in my 400 between 4,000 and 5,000. In my last video, I actually bought the wrong oil, and I put a synthetic mix, a blend, and so I'm going to change it at 4. I would normally go to 5. But anyway, and I've got 18,743 miles, so almost 19,000 miles on my 400, and it's just a little over a year old, really. So, so let's see. All right, what I've done to this bike since I have owned it. Okay, In the 19,000, almost 19,000 miles, I've changed the plugs. I've changed the air filter one time, both. I've changed the chain and sprockets at 13,000 miles, so I should be good for another 4,000 or 5,000 miles easy. Okay, so I have actually changed my tire. This is the third tire from brand new. Okay, and it's getting down to the wear bars. There's just a little bit of tread left. I need to go in and get a new tire, so that'll be my fourth tire. So that will be a tire every average of every 5,000 miles. That's not too good. I don't think that's too good, but I've been told that I ride this like I stole it, and that's the truth. And if you ride your bike hard, you're going to go through the tire faster. But hey, when you got to get out in traffic, you got to get out in traffic. You know, there's no explanation. No explanation for it other than I enjoy riding my ride. Okay, so so here is the brake pad. The rear brake pads look good. That's actually pretty close to stock. So the brakes are good. I've never replaced them. I've changed the oil every 5,000 miles or less. The front brake, the rotor has a little bit of wear on it, but not bad at all. The front brakes are just as good as the rear. I did replace the front tire. I replaced it at 13,000 miles. The guy at the shop said it would have probably gone another 5,000 or 6,000 miles easy, but I let my tire go low, and it created a flaring every other groove. It was like flared up weird, and it just felt weird, and I did not have any confidence in that tire, so I went ahead and replaced it. It was actually my wife that decided, hey, just replace both tires, chain and sprockets, get it done now, because then you won't have to come back later. And I agreed. Of course, I'm like, hey, my wife is telling me to spend money, so I got to do it. One thing I did notice on it is this. Check this out. This is an installation failure here. It's coming loose, and I may go ahead and show you how to change the light bulbs, because you have to remove the cover in order to change the light bulbs, and I have to remove the cover to get to the bolts that actually hold this piece on. So I might go ahead and do a separate video on how to change the light bulbs. That way it's up there in case you need to know how. Anyway, I get about 51 to 55 miles per gallon on this, and I get 55 if I am riding it very gently. And that's not very often, so my average is about 50. But I mean, look at the condition of it, guys. This thing is holding up very nicely. It sits in the sun several hours each day. I park it under a tree, and after the morning sun gets done, it's in pretty much complete shade for the rest of the day at work. So I think it is held up nicely, and this is 2 weeks after coating it with that interior cleaner. It still looks really good, and there's not a whole lot of dirt that has caked to it, because the mothers, if you've ever used it in your car, it leaves kind of an oily film, and that's why I thought it was just going to hold on to the dust. And there's not much here. With your eye, it looks so nice. I don't know if you can, that translates over the camera, especially with the morning sun shining in there. But man, this thing's just awesome. I love Kawasaki bikes. I think they're way more reliable than Harley, and you pay half as much. I paid $13,000 for that bike, and a bike of this style and engine size and everything in a Harley, it would have cost you $35,000 easy. And I think the Kawasaki is much more of a reliable bike. I know there's going to be a lot of Harley guys that would scream at me for that comment, but that's my opinion. And with all of my videos, they're my opinion and my opinion only. They may differ from yours, but that's what's so great about being American, man. You can have your own opinion, and if someone don't like it, then you can tell them to fuck off. Alrighty, guys, so that's pretty much it. Please comment below. Tell me how well my Kawasaki did over the almost 20,000 miles that it's been on the road. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of what I'm doing in my garage today. If you're gonna go out and ride guys, ride safe. If you haven't already done so, check out my near-death experience. I have that video up on my page. It is when I'm riding that bike there, and it was probably the most scariest night of my life. So please go check that out, give it a view, comment on what you think about it, and until next time guys, ride safe, stay free. We'll catch ya on the next one.